Okay guys, I'm going to try and make this tutorial a little bit more quick and easy. In the original TS3Tools tutorial, I went on and on and on, and I feel like I really kind of dragged out a 5 to 10 minute tutorial into a 40 plus minute tutorial. So I'll try and keep this one a little more easier to just follow along. For those of you who used TS3Tools before, it's very much the same, just a little bit of a redesign. So I'm just going to jump right into it from the get-go. If you go to ts3tools.com, it's going to redirect you to the new SimTools-app.com. And right at the top here, you can just hit download, and it will bring you to the latest version released today. I've already got some patches and updates in the works, but anyway, just hit download SimTools. For me, the file already exists, so I'm just going to overwrite it. I use Internet Download Manager, so this may not look the same as what you get if you use your browser download dialog. But once it finishes, start the installer. You may be asked for administrative privileges if you have user account control enabled. This is normal. We'll hit next. Depending on what locality your computer is, you may get your installer in English or Arabic, French, German, etc. It's designed to detect the localization of your PC. Accept the license agreement. Then it's going to ask you want 32-bit or 64-bit. Hopefully, depending on what your system already is, it should have that architecture selected. So if you have a 32-bit version of Windows, it should automatically have the 32-bit radio button selected. If you have a 64-bit, it should allow you to do much for the same. It should automatically be on 64-bit. You can switch these if you want, but the benefit to 64-bit, especially on more modern-day PCs, is that it's going to have access to more than 4 gigabytes of system memory. The theoretical execution limit of a 64-bit executable is, I think, something like 12 to 14 exabytes, which, I mean, only servers have that amount of RAM these days. So we'll hit 64. It should automatically populate the installation directory, but you can change that to whatever you want. Create a desktop shortcut, start menu shortcut. These two are grayed out for the moment because I'm still working on them, but I will update the installer when they are ready and available. Then hit next. Install. Now, it does all of this online, so if you have a firewall, you are going to need to approve the request. Now, obviously, that was not supposed to happen, but it did happen because I already had SimTools running. So we'll start the installer again. Go through all that. And it should start downloading everything from the repo. Once it's finished, you can say launch. Launch is left unchecked by default, but you can easily check it and then hit finish, and voila. You get the fancy new splash screen and the new version number, which is dynamic. It will change automatically with each new update. I'm going to go ahead and stop the music so I don't get a copyright ding. A lot going on the intro screen from what we had before. If you're curious to know, there's a button now that says what is SimTools, and it's just a bit of an overview of everything that's changed. By default, SimTools is pointed to the United States repository, but for those of you who are in the I don't know, is it still called the European Union? EU, Europe, Britain, if you're on the eastern side of the globe, if you hit this, I have a server in France that it'll ask you, mine's already on US, so it says, hey, you're good. But if you're in the eastern continents, it will actually say, hey, this one's closer. Do you want to use this one instead? Updates, mine's going to say I'm already using the latest version because it installed the latest version. But on startup, it'll tell you, hey, there's a new version. Do you want to update? And you can suppress update checks. And if you want to, you can reset your suppression of update checks. Obviously, these buttons up here, still very much the same. Clearly, I'm redoing those videos. This is the video guide you're watching right now, and these are the comparisons of systems, or at this point, just a system, running with vanilla Sims 3 and SimTools enhanced Sims 3. This is just hey, a great deal's changed. Watch the video, which is this video. There are 5 Easter eggs now. 4 of them are clickables, so I encourage everyone to look around the app and try and find them. And the 5th one, you actually have to type in a very well-known cheat, and it is not the Konami code, but it's almost as legendary. Those of you who are simmers should be very familiar. One other thing has changed. We had so many different screens on the old TS3 tools. Like every button went to a sub-menu or sub-screen. This has all been compacted into very little in the way of menus. Instead, I opted for context menus. So if we click on GPU support, instead of bringing up I think what it originally used to do was just start the TS3 GPU add-on. This one now, if you left click on, brings up a context menu for Sims 2, Stories, Sims 3, and these are all options for those that you can select. DXVK is limited to graphics cards that support Vulkan. So if you have an older NVIDIA or AMD GPU that doesn't support Vulkan, I did leave the GPU add-on in there in that event. The Sims 2 and Stories just use the graphics rules maker. With graphics rules maker, if you have the Legacy edition of The Sims 2, don't use it. It's not necessary. It could actually cause the Legacy edition to crash. Game tweaks, same. You got, instead of Sims 3, we got Sims 1, Sims 2, Stories. We've got a great deal of things that I've expanded in the game tweaks for The Sims 3, including Ultimate ASI, Setting Setter, Monopatcher. The in-game settings and INI tweaks, you can still bring up the guides, but the new SimTools software can actually do it automatically for you if you elect to. On that note, for a lot of the automatic stuff to work, there is also this new section, game and mod directories. You can set up where the games are installed, where the mods might be. Some of these I still have to expand on. So like for the Sims 2 Legacy Collection, downloads is where the mods go. The user data is just the root of the documents Sims 2 folder. But for a lot of these to work, you have to select where your directories are, populate these directory entries. If you don't, the app will tell you, it'll say, hey, this directory is not configured yet. You should go to the settings and do that. So, as an example, I'll click Best in Game Settings. And it'll ask you here, it's like, would you like SimTools to do this automatically? If you're not comfortable with that, you can still hit no to open the old-fashioned guide we have. But if you click yes, it improves the performance improvements automatically for you. I think I said that wrong. Dyslexia. Other things such as like the DXVK, obviously, I already have it installed, so it'll ask me if I want to remove it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we do have automatic installation and removal baked into the app. And it automatically downloads files from the repo, making this very compact. I think the entirety of the SimTools app just by itself without any cached downloads is about 30 to 40 megabytes, somewhere in there. Same with the tweaks. A lot of these just automatically download. If they're already there, they ask you if you want to remove them. If the save cleaner has already been, like, mine's already installed, but if it hasn't been installed, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to download and install the save cleaner? Once it has been downloaded, SimTools recognizes that, and it just launches it right away. A lot of things like the old guide for cleaning DC cache, the save cleaner does that now for us, and it'll walk you through how to do that in the app itself. Recommended mods, I've clearly expanded beyond Sims 3 here. I brought the Sims 3 mods over. The rest of everything right now is just known sites, but as I find more, I'll add more. The store guides are all still here. Buy Sim Games is one of the few menus left. Mod tools. This one is still kind of a work in progress. I'm comfortable with having released SimTools at the moment, but as days go by, I will add mod tools for Sims 1, 2, 4, etc., etc. The generic game keys section has changed up considerably. Same as before, this is a function that could be removed at any time, especially at the behest of EA. This one's a little different. Instead of giving you a big, huge list of like 50 keys, if you select a game and hit generate, it will then show you a key. Be very careful with the copy button. As I've noted down here, if you're running software in the background, like OBS or ShareX or even the snipping tool that comes with Windows, and you hit this copy button, SimTools is more than likely going to crash. So the best bet here is to select the key, right-click, and click copy. If you do a clean right-click copy or hit Control-C on your keyboard and then Control-V in the installation field, or in this case I'm running the run dialog, then you'll see that it copied over okay. So it's more of its own keygen at this point. Obviously we have a music player. I went ahead and stopped the music, but I've included about 20 tracks here, all from various sim games, and it should shuffle at start. Obviously you've got play button, you've got previous, next, stop, mute. If you're about 5 or more seconds into a song and you hit previous, it'll rewind it back to the beginning of that song. If you double click it, it'll skip back to the previous song. Let's see. All the socials are pretty much the same. I did add a slideshow in the About area, and the check for updates button behaves pretty much exactly the same as the original. Or sorry, not the original, but the one on the intro page. The support page, obviously you can fiscally, or you can contribute to the GitHub. When the repo maker and the translation tools come out, you can contribute with those, creating additional file repositories, or translating existing languages, creating new languages. Those who have contributed, either fiscally or through a great deal of effort, helped, I will be issuing personalization keys. This gets rid of the advertisement banner. You get a personalized greeting at the intro page that has your name and thanks you and says this copy especially for this person, and then it unlocks access to the exclusive items screen, which you also get to from the introductory page. A lot of this is baked into the server and into SimTools app. So, security-wise, it's kind of hard to spoof unless you look through the source code. And if you can figure it out or remove the mechanic that, and have those things show up for you, awesome. You earned yourself some free goodies. I figure if you can look through the source code and remove what's barring that, then you deserve it. Because programming can be a right pain in the butt. That's the other thing I'm really happy about is SimTools. With this reiteration from TS3 tools to SimTools, everything's open source now. The original TS3 tools, I built it kind of in a rush using a RAD, a rapid application developer, and unfortunately with RADs, when you publish a project, you just get a precompiled exe, and that's it. No source code. There aren't very many RADs that actually allow you to export the source code, so I had to rebuild this from the ground up using Visual Studio, and just kind of copy over everything one by one from the ground up. And I'm glad I did, because there's a lot of functions that I was able to make my own, a lot of things that I was able to integrate into SimTools that I just couldn't do with the RAD. So yeah, we're definitely getting there. There's a couple more things that I'd like to polish, but I feel like I'm at a point where I can release those gradually in like little patches. Special thanks and donors are pretty much the same. Again, a lot of stuff here automatically installs. So if you click the mod framework button, it will, as long as you've configured the Sims 3 directory, and again, that goes for a lot of the game tweaks and bug fixes as well, but if you hit mod framework, it will download all of that, all the stuff you need for mods to work, and it'll actually ask you now if you want the custom game intro and the custom splash screen installed. And then it'll tell you exactly what it's done for you and if it was successful. As I've mentioned in previous, when it was TS3 tools, the mod framework that I built for SimTools is specifically vetted for SimTools. It introduces an additional number of folders, so I can do testing, probationary. A lot of the testing mods will probably never make it into the bundled SimTools, but probationary mods are likely to. But you've got your regular packages and overrides that you download and put in there. And then clearly we've got test and probation. And then my SimTools folder is for any of the mods that I've included in SimTools, so that they're in a folder separate from your mods, so that you can go into the SimTools mods folder and delete, if you wanted to start over without deleting your own mods, you could go into the SimTools folder and delete all those mods. That also makes it a little bit easier to isolate any conflicts between SimTools and whatever mods you might be using, which Sims 3 Dashboard is also a really good app for that as well. But yeah, for the most part, it's still very much the same app. It's just I've gone and condensed a lot of stuff down into a simpler menu system. Kind of the same as before with the old trees. Cleaned a lot of it up, checked links as best as I could. So if you find any dead links, please let me know so that I can work that into a future version. I think I even put that in here too. It's like, if any of these leaks are broken, issue ticket on the GitHub or in the Discord. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I wanted to try and keep this short and sweet. We're at about almost 25 minutes now. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I know it doesn't feel like much of a guide, but if you go back and watch the original TS3 tools guide, and then watch this guide, you kind of get it. It didn't pop up on mine, but when you very first run SimTools, it's going to ask you what language you want out of 9 different choices. But in the settings, you can change it as well. So, like, say, French for our... And then you'll notice everything's in French. The translations right now, as it stands, are still kind of in the air. I'm still fine-tuning the translations, but as I do, I will push those to the file repository. In a lot of cases, that won't require too much of an update until... Well, I mean, I guess I could recompile, and that way you get updated files. Anyway, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the new version. And with it being source code now, this is going to be so much easier for me to issue updates. I am so sorry it took this long, because it's July 1st now. This is the official release. We've had an alpha and beta over the last couple, 3 or 4 weeks, but officially, the last version of TS3Tools that was released before this was 3.28, I think, something like that, and that was in June of 2024. So it has literally been 2 years. So again, I'm sorry it took this long, but I've gotten SimTools to where I've really wanted it since the beginning. Open source is all I could ever ask for, because now I can bring more people in on this who want to contribute to the code, contribute to the project. It's so much more lightweight. Fetches everything online. So, yeah. It's all I ever wished it could be. All right, guys. Have a good one, and enjoy SimTools.